Mike, so, oh my goodness, thank you so much for doing this with us today. So you've gone through our aiFoundRE program. I'm sort of curious, can you just introduce yourself? Tell us who you are, a little bit about your team and where you work.
Yes, yeah. So I'm Mike Morrell. I am with Dream Team United. We are based in the Charlotte market, right on the border in North and South Carolina. And we're also in the Triad area of North Carolina. We're in the Triangle area of North Carolina, or in the Wilmington area of North Carolina near the beaches. So we've got about 40 agents. Last year we sold 311 homes. This year we'll sell close to 400 if we stay on track, which is exciting because it's a tough market, and we're growing. So it's a good time.
I believe the phrase is you are crushing it. So love that.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to jump right on in and ask you a question. And that is, let's just talk leads, because I think that's what everybody's sort of most curious about. Now, tell me a little bit, how many were you getting through AI before versus how many are you getting through AI now?
Yeah, so I'm probably not tracking that as effectively as I could be. A lot of our leads come in directly through our ISA team. So we don't always know exactly how they found us. But I know that with Google Analytics now, it tracks AI assistant, where that's somebody refers me to click the link directly from inside ChatGPT or Claude or Perplexity or wherever and get to us. And I know in June, that number was 2 had clicked us. In July, that was 36. And so far in August, we're at 25. So if we keep going at that rate, we should hit like 40.
So that's per month. So you were at 2 per month, and then you moved up to 36, and you think you're on track for about 40, 50. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Wow. That is, that's like an 1,800% increase.
Right.
1,800% increase. Yeah. Okay.
It's high.
Yeah, that's phenomenal. Okay, I'm super thrilled. Okay, I'm going to ask you a question, and that is, how are these leads different from other leads? Because I know we've talked about the fact that you've intercepted some of these leads and been able to get them, into your funnel quickly. Talk to me about what these leads are like for you.
Yeah. So those numbers are ones that, clicked from AI and went directly to our website and just went through our typical systems. In addition to that, we've gotten some calls where people are just calling me directly rather than clicking the link. And those are great. I mean, those people are sold already. They want to work with Mike Morrell. ChatGPT said, this is who you should call. So that's who they call. So that's the goal, to get more of those. Fayaz got a call a couple of weeks ago, and who's my partner in this business, and they asked about me. So, and he's definitely the more forward-facing of this partnership.
Well, you're doing the videos right now. You're doing the videos that work for the program. So it feels like you're going to gain in that. We talk a little bit about how this program creates a little bit of a celebrity status for the person who's the most visible. And that's going to start happening to you, or at least it's already started to happen to you, which is amazing. And exactly what we're looking for. I wonder how Fayaz felt.
Not exactly what I'm looking for, just for the record. I'm just looking for the clicks and the calls. But we'll take it if that's what comes.
I was going to say, any way to increase our lead generation capabilities. So can I ask you a question? So before we came into this, before you came into this program, what was your relationship to AI? Like, I'm just sort of curious as to, the whole concept of AI visibility is definitely a thing now, right? It just really hasn't, up until now, we really haven't created systems for sort of intentionally creating more visibility through AI, which is what our program is for. So what was your relationship with AI before that?
Yeah, so I knew that people were using it in place of Google for most things. They're certainly transitioning that way. But I was like most people, I'd use it for I need a recipe for dinner tonight, or just in general, I need a restaurant to go to tonight. Here's my closet. What clothes should I wear? I mean, saw people doing things like that. But nothing that was really affecting my business at all beyond searching myself, who's the best realtor in Charlotte, who's the best realtor in Fort Mill. And I saw that I would get mentioned a few times here and there. But now it's just happening a whole lot more often. And I've learned to use AI as a tool in my business that is just saving me an enormous amount of time. So in short, it went from just casually playing around with it to now it's become an integral part of our business. And I see the opportunity just to really grow things.
I feel like the second part was a little bit of a side effect of the program, right? Like we were worried about the visibility, but then you were also able to create sort of essentially projects and so forth that you can now use to do so many things, content generation, et cetera. Like I can see you, because I've seen your videos, I can see you using the content generation aspect of it, which is
just you guys exposing me to how you were using it, allowed me to see the capabilities. The fact that I was forced to sit there for 2 hours and stare at it with you, I realized the real benefits and how easy it is once you get into it. If you don't understand something, just ask it and it'll tell you the answer in most cases. So just being exposed to it has helped me to dig in more.
Great. Do you think that it matters? That's been like the center point of a lot of the conversations I've had is I do run into, people in our business who are like, I don't think it matters. I think it's a phase. I think it's a trend. I think but I really personally believe, and I was sort of curious if you felt the same way. I believe that it's really important now, to be visible and have that sort of visibility, because it does feel like if you are not visible, you're going to lose opportunities.
Yeah, I think this is going to be the new front door to the business. I think that people are relying on AI more and more for all aspects of their lives. And whereas it used to be Zillow or, our own websites or Google or whatever, I think this is the way everything is going. Like not just in real estate. I think this is how people are going to be buying cars, and this is how people are going to be hiring every contractor for their home. I think that we're seeing that's growing exponentially, and it's just so powerful that it's going to continue to go that way.
Yeah, it was really interesting. I did notice that every time I entered into a new area, I would be like, give me 5 restaurant recommendations, and I would go to them.
Yeah.
And it almost sort of put any other restaurant kind of sort of fell by the wayside, because I was getting, a very sort of well thought out, referral to why I should go to this restaurant. And I feel like that's something with real estate, that you can be a really talented real estate agent, but if you don't have any AI visibility, you might not be in that referral pool. And all of a sudden, business that could have been yours is no longer yours. So, and it has nothing to do with whether you're talented or a good realtor.
Yeah. No, I needed like a septic guy. We have a relatively new house and I wanted to have the septic checked out. So I went to AI and asked who it was. And it said, basically knowing who you are and the type of relationships that you like to build. Here's someone who is making YouTube videos. Here's somebody who's educating the public. And it would be somebody who you could coordinate well with in your business. So, and I called that person and hired them, so if I'm doing it, I'm sure everybody is.
Well, so your AI is now really familiar with you. Like AI might exist out there now, and a lot of the things that they're feeding you are directly based on your needs and your personality and everything about you, which is kind of crazy pants, but I love that. So we just finished this cohort in June, right? Mm-hmm. And I'm just absolutely thrilled by the amount of sort of growth you've made since June, because we're only in August now. Can I ask you, be gentle. How was the process of going through this? We're fully aware that you guys were the first cohort, and so it's like, but how was the process? Like I'm aware that it was a lot of work.
Sure. And I'll be completely candid. It was painful at first because this is an entirely new topic that I knew nothing about. So every step of the way was challenging for me. Just learning each new system as we went. And, things like going in and making sure that my name, address, phone is the same everywhere. So I had to figure out what are my passwords for these sites that I haven't been to in 2 years. And, it was just a tremendous amount of time. But as I learned new systems, as I got comfortable with things, as I learned to rely on AI more for my answers, and continued to plug my information into the system so it knew me better. It all got easier and easier. I still have a ton to learn, but I'm so much further along than it was in the beginning. And the fact that I was able to take your handbook and plug it into Claude. And so now I don't have to read through it every time to get the answers. I just say, what is the answer to this? So it saves so much time. The answer is painful at first, but
You mean you didn't
Again?
want a giant binder that you would have to leaf through by
I
hand?
I didn't. No.
I'm teasing.
No, didn't want that at all.
Okay, good. I'm glad to know that, because one of the things that I thought was most amazing about your particular experience is that I don't think you'd appeared on camera before this.
Barely.
Like, you were not a YouTuber. You were not, you did not put a lot of sort of content out there directly from you. And it feels like, because that's, I think, one of the things I've heard people say, like, they're like, oh, I don't want to put myself out there, or I've never done it. Like, should I? And I feel like you were kind of like, from the very beginning, you were like, I don't want to do this, but you did it. And
I was a Marine, right? So I was in the Marine Corps, so I'm really good at following orders. So when I got the Millionaire Real Estate Agent, that is how we built a successful business, by following the steps in the Millionaire Real Estate Agent. When I did this, I just followed the steps, trusting that somebody had done it before and vetted the process and that it would be successful. So I think that if you just follow the orders, it's easier to be successful.
Okay, that is awesome. I'm so thrilled to hear that. How many under contracts do you have with them right now?
With AI prospects?
Or how many you're actively working with right now?
We probably have 5 that we're speaking with. Of those, we have 1 active listing and 1 active buyer. You just finished this program in June and you're already pointing at things that you are doing. You've got 5 in the hopper. This is amazing. And I think, like I said, as we tweak the way that you do the intake on them, I think you're going to increase that. So that's going to be our next step, you and me, is we're going to work on how you tweak those. I think within 2 weeks of finishing the cohort, I had paid for the program. So,
Oh my God, that's amazing. Yay! Good to hear. Okay, so I'm just going to ask you one quick question, and this is sort of going to be the end of it for us, because thank you so much for sharing your time with us today. Do you have any last takeaways that you want to sort of share about anyone who's considering AI, sort of exploring AI visibility or even our program?
Yeah, I would say that right now as realtors, anytime a new shiny object comes up, everybody jumps into it and we start getting pushed. And there's different people teaching systems just like this. And I would say that the availability and the communication, and just the fact that I knew that you guys were there at the end of a text or a phone call at any time was super encouraging, because it's a little scary to jump into something brand new. So, and watching the success that you have had shifting to a nearly entirely Sphere and AI-based business from a leads-based business, paid leads-based business, was encouraging. But I would say that we're thrilled that we made the choice to go through it. And I think that we're only going to have continued success as we continue to grow with you.